This is a quick rundown for the Bungie developer livestream that happened earlier today. If you don't want to watch the full hour plus livestream, I cover most of the points and you can get most of the information here. While I was disappointed that we didn't get to see any new footage, the devs did talk a lot about the future of Marathon, what they're working on, and their game philosophy moving forward, so I am very hopeful. Right off the bat, Bungie addressed the elephant in the room. If you want to know more about the art controversy, there's plenty of videos and articles already out there detailing the juicy drama. Long story short, there were some assets that were used in the game that Bungie didn't have permission to use. They contacted the artists and are working something out with them, which is why they couldn't show any footage at today's live stream. They're still going over everything and making sure that there's no other assets that were taken, and they want to make sure they have all of their bases covered. Even without the footage, we still got some good information from the devs, and Marathon still got some of that secret sauce left, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about what they have to say. They're reworking how players interact with the hostile environment in a couple of different ways. The first is the bots and how relentless they are. In the alpha, there were plenty of times where I would kill one UESC bot and all of the other bots in the POI would know exactly where I am, my zip code, my best friend's home address from 6 years ago. It's scary how much they know. They're trying to avoid this and make the bots less relentless and be able to lose line of sight. You gotta understand it's a serious issue when you log off of the game and the UESC bots are still following you to your work, to your places of comfort. It's scary stuff. The devs are aware, they're working on it. The second way that they're looking to change the hostile environment is the actual environment itself. They were a little vague, but they're wanting to make the survival aspect of the game more robust and more of a factor when executing a run. They didn't exactly explain what that means. I assume they aren't introducing hunger or thirst, but more like events and set pieces that can drastically change your run on the fly. They did say that they're toying with how you extract in Marathon, which has some exciting, if not a little vague, ramifications. Another thing they mentioned was wanting the game to get exponentially more tense as the run goes on, and so we might be looking at some sort of mechanic, not a storm from Fortnite, but some sort of threat that gets higher in presence the longer the match goes on. When it comes to the PvP side of the game, I am very, very excited by what they're working on. Reviving mechanics were hotly disputed during the whole alpha, and at the very least, they're going in the right direction, in my opinion. The game philosophy that they're aiming for is that downed players can be revived by clever teammates during combat, but eliminated players need to be revived after the fight is fully concluded. They didn't explain exactly how that is being done, but one concrete idea that they're working on is every time you fully die, you add more time to your res timer, meaning there will be direct disadvantages to needing your teammates to constantly revive you over and over and over. Overall, I think this is on the right path, and I'm excited to see how this affects squad and solo PvP. The other main feedback from the alpha was the lack of proximity chat. I don't know how many people, comments, videos I saw that were complaining about this, and I really hate to say it, but it really looks like proximity chat isn't going to be in the game. When asked, they specifically avoided using the term proximity chat and instead said that they're working on ways for opposing squads to communicate, but haven't landed on the right method. One person asked a question about proximity chat, and the devs did not say the words proximity chat. They did not address if it was even a possibility, which does make me wonder if the rumors about it being a legal issue are true, and in that case, I really don't think that we're going to be seeing it in the game. I'm still reserving judgment. I want to see what system they implement, because hey, if it's good enough, it's good enough, and I want to give them a shot, but it'll be really interesting to see in the beta what sort of communication system they have fully fleshed out. For me personally, probably even more exciting than the PvP changes are the new build crafting changes they're implementing. And your boy loves his builds, so anytime they talk about these builds, I get a little excited. And instead of interesting perks being stuck on the high tier gear, they're trying to distribute them to the lower tiers and making builds much more accessible at an early level. So, not only making implants more impactful the way cores are, but gun mods are also being affected. Mods that go into the chip slot for guns, for example, will be able to go into any gun and give a new verb to that weapon. Again, they were a little vague, but to me this is really exciting because this will allow a lot more build variety as well as providing more exciting loot. Imagine picking up that chip that you've been trying to find forever that turns your gun into maybe having 2 shots per trigger pull, something like that. And the black market should reflect this new build crafting. The devs want you to build your own black market according to what and how you like to play, so you can more consistently use the builds that you actually enjoy. That was one of my biggest concerns from the alpha, especially after running kits that felt so good to use and synergized so well with each other, and then after you lose it, I kept thinking, well, I have no way to farm this back. It was kind of a 3-run thing before I died. But now you'll be able to actually rebuy that through the black market, or at least get close to it, and I'm excited about that. Most of the other stuff discussed during the live stream doesn't impact the next playtest as much, and was more about their art philosophy and small things they're still working on. Apparently bag space is a heated debate at Bungie, and skins and customization are being worked on in the background as well, but they didn't give any specifics about if they would be complete skins or just partial accessories. They did mention weapon skins, so I believe we can see weapon customization coming in. I really hope they're able to show us some footage in the coming week and give us a taste for what we have in store. I know they mentioned hoping to be able to show some footage a little bit later. My fingers are crossed, but I'm not going to hold my breath because I'm worried that with these assets and the issues surrounding the art that they may need to take a little bit more time. Which, honestly, as a player, I'm fine with. I would want them to make sure that they dot their I's and cross their T's and do everything that they're supposed to make sure that this doesn't happen again. But I do hope that we can see something soon. I know there's been a lot of hiccups in this game's development, but I'm honestly excited to see where it goes. I had a blast playing the alpha, and I'm going to be coming back for the beta. I hope to see you all there.
GG.